And so if it acts up, oh, there we are. We are live. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Something was going on with my internet, and I see some people had joined and were commenting. We're sharing this on our personal pages, but we asked everybody to enjoy the conversation. Go to the All Good Just a Week Ago page, because that is where we'll be able to really see your comments on the All Good Just a Week Ago. Hola, Yosef, how you doing?
Hey, Yosef, baby!
I'm excited. This is just a little after party that we're having. We just did a really, really fun interview on Fox Soul with Dr. Sean McMillan this evening, and we just wanted to continue the conversation because he asked us some questions that I don't think we was necessarily ready for. Were you ready for them, Aisha? I mean, we were ready, but
these were the questions that he asked was just questions that we've never been asked before by an interviewer. And so it was different, but I embraced the change, because I feel like we were able to give a little bit of more current insight to the situations that are obviously amongst us right now, like the fire. So
yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I think it was good. Before we even get started in conversation, my dad said to tell you two things. He said, one, tell Naisha she was not dating in kindergarten.
I did have a boyfriend in kindergarten. His name was Roy.
Not her boyfriend. They was kids. And two, whenever y'all describe y'all friendship, you better mention me and Glenn.
You know what? Now you know
Pop said.
Right.
Thank you. You also said, love that hair, E. And Nene is fly as usual. Thank you. So we can see your comments. Please join us on the All Good Just a Week Ago page. I'm streaming on my personal page too, so I'll try to see comments on there as well. But we're going to talk a little bit about dating in 2021, but also going to go into just some of what we talked about today, because I feel like it was a really good conversation. Normally when you do have media interviews and things like that, it's very strict, like sometimes 3 minutes, sometimes 30 seconds. And so we had a whole 3 segments of questions, starting with how we met. So I think that it's good that we can share our story as we continue to share All Good Just a Week Ago, so people can really understand why we did this book, why we started this project. So you want to share with the people, since I shared on Fox, how did we meet?
So we were in Carbondale. This is circa 2000. And we were at a junior college in Carbondale, John A. Logan. We actually had a psychology class together with this man that was an atheist, and we were just like, this dude is nuts. Do you remember that man?
I do remember that. I don't remember his name, but I remember that man.
He was crazy. But anyway, no, it was literally we had 2 classes together. I was like, this girl is too cool. She is so funny and just down to earth. And we was just talking. Come to find out that she stayed in the dorms that I often frequent. And so it was just a match just off the bat. I was like, this girl, she is so cool. She is so fun to hang out with. It was this place in Carbondale called The Barn. Where are my SIU Salukis? Okay, y'all know about The Barn. Don't act like y'all don't know about The Barn. So we would go to parties at The Barn together. We would go to the sports center together. Shout out to the Sports Center of Carbondale, SIU.
The upper deck was the best parties.
The upper deck was the best. It was just a great time. But anyway, we just we really went through like some very epic moments in undergrad together that we were both able to be support, figures for in those times in our life. And then it just really just transcended into just a super solid sisterhood. And then we went in opposite directions for schooling. I went back to Chicago. I enrolled at Chicago State. Shout out to CSU. And she went to Illinois State, ISU. And so we lost each other. This is like before Facebook had even like really hit or anything. This is like when we were still like kind of on like pagers and Primeco phones. Okay, what y'all know about them Primeco phones? Okay, that's
AOL Instant Messenger because your name was Maxwell's girl.
Maxwell's girl. That was my AOL messenger name. And so, so we lost contact. But when I got to Chicago State, I told her, I had invited her to this party that I was having. It was a pretty people party where the only people that were invited to my party were people that I deemed as being attractive. I know it's very shallow. That was like, I was a young girl back then. So I had told, E, I was like, girl, you gotta come, you know what I'm saying? This person's gonna be here. We will not say his name.
Because we didn't say this on Fox Soul, but I feel like we can say it now. Who was the person that was supposed to come to this party and why were they gonna come? How was you gonna get them there?
So the person that was gonna come to my Pretty People party was Kanye West. He had just dropped the Louis Vuitton Don mixtape.
I can't remember. Wait, side note, was Louis Vuitton mixtape, was that the original All Falls Down on there with Lauryn Hill?
Yeah.
I need to find that mixtape. I wonder if
it's I still remember the album cover art for that, okay? And the fact that it came in the thinnest of CD cases, like it was so thin. But so Kanye was supposed to come to my Pretty People party. The reason why he was going to come was because I gave his mother, Dr. West, who was the dean of students at Chicago State while I was in attendance and very dear to my heart. Rest in good, sweet heaven, Dr. West. She really helped me out in my journey at CSU for her short time there. Because actually, when I got to CSU, Dr. West was actually on her way leaving CSU because she was about to go with Kanye. Like she was about to transition. And so anyway, all of that to be said, Kanye was supposed to come to my party. No, he did not show up. But, it was a really popping party downtown Chicago at the DoubleTree on Walton, right down the street from the Water Tower place.
It was a good cookie.
It was a whole vibe. I had a bartender. It was just like a whole vibe. But anyway, so Erica did not show up because she was sweet on some young fellow. So she ended up going to his party instead. And we lost contact for 10 years as a result of that, that meetup not ever happening. And I so happened to go to a Wale concert. And I was standing in line with the person that I had attended the concert with. And did you turn around in line and I saw you? How did
I feel like I turned around, like maybe I recognized your voice. And I'm like, Nyjah?
And y'all, when I saw this girl, I was like, Eureka. Okay. Like
that's what my mom called me.
Like, oh my gosh. Is this Erica? This is Erica. Like I have found my friend again. And it was like, and we've not stopped talking since. Literally.
Yeah.
I can count on two hands in the 10 years that we have since been reunited that we have not talked on the phone, like talked on the phone physically. Yeah. We've texted.
Yeah, it's still everyday text.
Yeah, we've never not gone a day.
Yeah, we didn't talk yesterday. Don't let that happen again. Like, oh,
okay, girl. Okay, because listen, it's just certain people that you just have to talk to every single day. So. But yeah, that is our story. And
that is the story. And it's crazy because we started a book of funny and crazy dating stories. And I feel like during that time, we were both in the midst of some crazy dating stories during that time. We won't even get into which ones they were. Well, I guess mine, was rookie ball.
Yeah.
That was like the story that, I was dealing with. So I think that it says a lot about the friendship and why we chose to write this book.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Dr. Sean asked some really good questions this evening, which like continue the conversation and continue talking. I feel like, people will really, once they see that interview, will really get to not just know about the book, because it was more about us and our journey than the book.
Yeah.
What would you say you would want for your journey? Like, what do you want people to know about your journey through this book?
I would want people to know and recognize that it's okay if it takes you a long time to meet your person.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say take a long time, I mean, like, it's okay if, like, I hate to throw out numbers, right? But we're just going to be all the way transparent with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any woman that's over the age of 35, I would say, that has not met their person yet, it's easy to feel like, when is he coming? Why have I waited this long to meet him? Why, like, why is there such like an extension on me, being introduced to this person? But what I wanted to encourage people is that, and this sounds so cliche, and I'm definitely not a cliche type of woman. I hate cliches, but I will say it is worth the wait, and it definitely gets greater later.
All right, that's what Trick Daddy said.
Listen, I'm serious. I'm still serious. Like, just the way that your mind operates as you mature and get older, like, you're really whatever your jam is. Like, whatever that is, you're deep into it. And it's probably to your benefit that you are, like, really committed to who you are. Like, you've gone through the phase of, like, do I love myself? Do I find myself worthy? Do I find myself valuable of having me a good partner? Like, all that. You are mature, and just like I said on my 35th birthday, like, when I was out to dinner with all of my beautiful sisters, I said, hey, y'all, like, this is dope. Like, I'm having a great time. But next year, I'm going to be with my person. Like, I felt like, I felt like I was channeling the energy to me wanting to just be like, okay, God, who is he? Get me fixed up so that whenever he comes around, I can be ready, flawed and all. Because none of us are perfect. If you are in a situation where you're feeling like, oh, I gotta have this, and this, yeah, you should be the person that you want to date. You should be, So
and that's the tip we give is, in dating 2021, like, work on being that person that you want to date. So I definitely piggyback with you, as far as like the journey that you want to share. I think for me, I just want to be transparent in my journey and sharing with people like, hey, these things happen.
Yeah.
To the best of us. And how can you continue to roll with the punches and not, down yourself because you went through these situations. So even being, I always tell people, like, rookie ball for me, it's a funny story now, but it was like, damn, like, when I was writing the story, I was like, this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm like, if it's going to help someone to learn, and not even just to learn, but to know, like, okay, I did something crazy. It's not that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all go through those growing moments. So I think knowing that people are not in this dating game alone. And I like that he highlighted our friendship, because it's like, hey, when you are loved, by the people around you, and you're loved right, like, it's easier to navigate that complex dating field.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, too, also keeping in mind, like, one of the things that was really important for me, like, being married, is that I didn't lose myself in my marriage, Like, sometimes when people get married, they be like, my girls, like, ooh, you know, like I'll talk to them when I talk to them, and that's messed up. That's messed up. Because you can still love on your man and still be good to your girls. Because, you know, at the end of the day, they were there. They were there.
Yeah.
They were there before your person came around. Or even if they weren't there, they were encouraging you and supporting you on your way from being single to being a wife. So it's like to not entertain or not be as invested in their lives because you're married now. Like, what does that mean? Like, you're married, yes. Don't call my house at like 3 a.m. if it's just to kiki, you know, right? But at the same token, it's not like, hey girl, what's up? Okay, you know, I gotta go because you know I gotta make this food for him. Like what? Like no, like who's living like that? I don't know. I don't know nobody that's living like that. So, you know, I'm just glad that, you know, like I said, even in us being in two different spaces in our journey, we're still very much in a cohesive sisterhood with one another. And that you can call me whenever, I can call you whenever. I know that if I have, you know, a situation that I need an eye on, you know what I'm saying? I can call you and say like, girl, you know, like run things by you. I think that's just really crucial to have. And I also think that it was really good how Dr. Sean, you know, he made mention of the fact that when you have good relationships, those are like great foundations to go into healthy relationships with that are not platonic. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't have to feel like you have to validate, you know, your opinions, your thoughts, your belief system. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that. Like, you're coming into the situation strong and steady. And that's what I appreciate and love so much about you, E, on your journey, is that you are very solid and set on your standards being met. And that has nothing to do with you being too picky. That's not what this is. You're going into dating with intention. So it's gonna look different from you. It's gonna look more flourish for you. You know what I'm saying? Your dating scenario, your storyline is gonna be blessed in abundance.
It's so crazy because I think like the questions that he asked today, they were so like personal when it comes to like dating. And you know, when we started this book, it was just funny dating stories. Like I didn't think we were gonna be as transparent as we have been, but it took a while to get there, and it took us putting this book together to see certain things like, and even saying like, you know what, I can't be operating like this, and this is what the messages that we're putting out in this book.
Yeah.
So things have to change because it would just be like, it just wouldn't be valid. It'd be like that Martin episode. What was that episode with that lady? It was like the talk show host, and she was like supposedly.
Girl,
who would be that lady? Like I forgot her name.
I wish that I could.
Did Kenya Moore play her? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't Kenya Moore. I know exactly. Like I could see the episode in my head.
I'm just saying, like, you know, if we wrote a book and, you know, that's just an example of like giving your representative. And so
yeah,
I think for me, this book has been good because it's like, I can no longer give my representative because I think that we all can give that, you know, every once in a while. It's just like, I'm me.
And this is what it is. And it's like, look, buy our book because it's a great book. Don't buy our book if you're thinking that you're going to meet your person after reading our book, okay? Because we are not soliciting any type of matchmaking services.
Not yet, though, because when you join our private group, we might.
Oh, that's something different. We ain't told the saints about that yet. I'm saying if you buy the book, okay? If you're purchasing this and you're like, oh, I'm on the last page, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to meet my person.
But I think it can encourage you to keep it. It's supposed to encourage you to keep your head in the game because here's the thing with dating. there's a lot of things. Like I was just watching 90 Day Fiance.
My favorite show.
And this chick, like her guy got sent back to whatever country he was from. And she was like, maybe happiness is not for me, right? And so even though that's what do you say?
No, a beekeeper.
Yes, beekeeper.
Yeah.
She should have been in that anyway. Like, I know that love can speak many languages, but like you don't even know, like y'all can't even understand each other. Y'all have to Google Translate to speak to each other. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So she was like, maybe love's not for me. And how many people have actually said that? I know that I've said that before, like, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. And so we have to be, anybody who has ever said that, and you do want that love, like, we rebuke that. So I'm going to go to church right now in the name of Jesus. You have to be careful what you speak. But the whole point is like funny stories to help you keep your head in the game when you're like, maybe this is not for me.
Yeah.
No, keep your head in the game. Just keep living life, and what's for you will not pass you by. So
it will not. And that's the thing. Like I really feel like it's important to speak about those moments when you do feel like giving in and giving up the towel and saying, you know what, I'm good on this. Because I feel like not enough people talk about being in those moments and being in that headspace where you are really feeling like, you know what, I just have to really just like throw in the towel for a little bit because this is not working out for me. But the better position would be to take like, you know what? Okay, this is where I'm at right now. Let me take the time to do my work for myself. Mm-hmm. If that involves you going to therapy, because a lot of us need therapy and we're resisting it. Why? Stop resisting therapy. Like,
go.
You're yourself. There are traumas that people have experienced that has stunted their growth. They are X amount of years old numerically, but they have mindsets of teenagers, of young 20-year-olds that have dealt with, tragic situations, and they have not grown from that situation, but they've just, dressed it up, put some perfume on it, walked out the door. Like, we need to start to tackle these issues that we have, that we've tried to suppress before going into these relationships, because you're going to take that garbage into a relationship and it's going to stink it up. It's going to stink it up. Stop stinking up.
That's part of like the wait, like going back to what you said about waiting, like the wait can be so beautiful because the longer you wait, the better sometimes. You know what I mean? Like the wait, because you can prepare yourself and you can be ready and you can get rid of certain things. Sometimes people don't have that privilege of like unpacking things before they get into relationships or finding out who they are before they're in a relationship. So I think that it's, that's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about that too, because it's like too, I feel like another thing that's really good, like dating right now, it can still be an enjoyable journey. It doesn't have to be dry. Yes, we're in the middle of the pandemic. Yes, you cannot go out and move about, or, you can, but you should not be out here bopping right now. Like, not.
You should be out here bopping.
Should be out here bopping.
What that mean?
Bopping, like you going out to these clubs and these parties.
Oh no.
Yeah, They are, and no shade. If that's how you want to live your life, if you like living it on the edge, hey, no judgment over here. That's just not what I'm, suggesting that you do. But I'm saying like you can still make the journey fun. Erica, I think that you're doing a great. You have a really great initiative because it's healthy. Like you're healthy. Like when I look at you, and I'm not just biased because you're my G. Like you're a healthy woman, because you're not like Debbie, like it's not, that's not you. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you're about to have fun. Bachelorette's season, okay?
Yeah, you and Tiff are enjoying my Bachelorette season.
I am. It's, it's fun, but I feel like if more people were being, like optimistic about it and turn it into a positive rather than a negative. Like, oh man, girl, you know, you still ain't down here. He still ain't came around. Like, man, cancel all of that because we're not with that noise because it's noise. It's distractions. You are in a very safe space in that you're dating with intention, so you're only going to receive what is intended for you to have.
Mm-hmm. You know, it took a while. So for those watching, we have, if you go to our website, we now have a quiz called What's Your Dating Style? Haven't even promoted that yet. And so I didn't take the quiz because we created it together. But the funny thing is, it's going to sound funny, even though, so it's 4 categories: the committed dater, the situationship, the player, and the one night stand. And so I was thinking about it, and you know, I always share my journey. I'm like, I feel like I've gone from situationship to situationship, but I realized the reason that I have is because I have kind of been a little bit of a player. And I didn't even realize it. And I realized, you know, back in the day, it would be like, I would tell a story and I'd be like, no, not him, this person. You know what I mean? And so I say that to say that, like, where I'm at now, what I've learned is, like, a lot of times when we share with the results, when you do date, like, as the player, a lot of times it's like to guard your heart. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're doing it because it's like you don't want to get hurt. But also what you don't realize is you're like allowing a lot of people in your space and your energy and all of that. And so I think that I had, because I mean, I didn't identify it as that. And I still think it's like between the situationship and the player that has been my past dating habits. But I think I'm in a good space because I had to clear all of that junk, all of the nonsense and all of the fruitless relationships out.
Yeah.
And I had to play a card away.
You had to put it down. You had to put it down. You don't throw it away.
No, that thing, it can be thrown away.
Look, I'm like, you don't throw it away until the ring is on, okay? But
no, you have to throw it away at a certain point.
Yeah, but you know, this is the thing too. It's not like you were out here like, you know, free flying fancy and, you know what I'm saying, with, you know, this, that, you know, this.
That's not it, but still, I was still, you know, entertaining and having conversations with people that were just to fill up time and space.
I see what you're saying.
And so when you are making room for something, you have to like, okay, this can't happen. We can't have conversations, even if it's just a conversation. Like, no, we can't have this conversation anymore. You know. So I think when you want something intentional and you know, like, this isn't what it is, you have to clear your space. And a lot of times, I think people do have that attitude, like, I'm just gonna be a player until I meet the person, until I meet the one, and that can mess things up because that's how you get into some sticky situations. That's how people, you know, have, I mean, know this, but like unwanted pregnancies and things like that happen from people like, I'm just going to play around. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be a player and all of these things. So it's like, you have to be intentional. And I think for me, I'm like, okay, Lord, this is what I want. This is what I'm praying for. And you know this personally, and you can speak to this. But when you know what you want and what you're looking for, and you're asking God for it, you have to do it His way. And a lot of times people will be like, Lord, I want this, I want that. And they're in their flesh. So God's like, no, don't be entertaining anybody, like just any and every body.
No, and I mean, you're right. You know, the thing, you know, for those of you who are not aware or haven't read the book yet, we speak about, you know, what my dating story was, you know, as far as like what led me to meeting my husband, and was kicked off as a spiritual whooping, which I describe in the book as being the most awful feeling ever. Okay. It was so bad. Okay. But it was like after I got that spiritual whooping and God told me like directly, like he was like, this is what you have to do if you want this. Like you're talking to me about having that, but you're not doing what is required of you to have it and to keep it, you know? So it's like, I wanted a healthy relationship. I wanted to meet my husband. I was preparing myself, to be the Proverbs 31 woman and all of these things. And, everything just sounded so good. But he was like, you got to take this off the table. And what he asked me to take off the table, I just want to go on record and say that after I got that spiritual whooping, it was so easy. It was clear. It was clear as day. Like, you know what, Lord? Cool. I'm going to give you my body back. Do what you want to do with that. Straight. I'm good. And I was so convicted in the conversation that I had with the Lord that I was like, no bueno. Like I'm saying this on date one, like, bruh, it's not happening. Yeah. No cakes are getting over here. And it worked out, but that was my story. That was my story.
I have a question that I want to ask that I think for the single people out there that are watching that might get discouraged, because this came to my spirit this week. And so I want to know if you've ever felt like you have been hidden.
Like
dating, and what has that looked like? I want us to talk about that a little bit.
Just the protection of God, like rejection.
Like when you're just, when you feel like, damn, am I hidden? You know what I mean? Like,
but I feel like when you're hidden.
I
feel like that if, like, let's just say this person is you're like really digging, like y'all have a good vibe, like he's attractive, whatever, like you find yourself like really meshing well. And then for whatever reason, like it just falls apart. Like, and you're left, you're questioning, you're like what happened? Like, how did that go, left? But in those moments, I don't see them as anything other than being hidden. You're being protected, like, here's the thing. The black and white of it all is that God is not going to set you up for the sabotage. He don't roll like that. Like, that's just not who he is. That's not what he's about. So if you find yourself in a situation where you are, it seems like you're not really getting no hits, you're not really getting no likes, saying there's like not really any sparks being shown your way, this, that, and the third. I feel like it's just to set you up for the explosion that is close. It's nearby. Because who wants to deal with like a little dud firecracker when you really want an M80? Okay. You don't those little firecrackers, they're like
the little ones,
and they pop. They just give you a real good pop. Like you throw them and you be like, oh, a little pop. You wanted
safer ones too.
They are the safer ones, but you want the M80 dynamite. Okay, that's what you want. Okay, but you be like, whoa, like that's where we're at right now. Like we don't want little small things. We want big, grandiose love. That's like that's what you want. So I would rather wait for that and be cool on that. If you're gonna hide me so that I can get my M80, hide me. Throw me in the book. Throw me in the book.
To add to that, for anybody that ever feels that way, because I've definitely felt that way before, but it's like when you are operating a certain way and when God has when he has a purpose on your life and he knows who your person is, he may block people, like it'd be like repellent. You know what I'm saying? And you might be like, damn, what's wrong? But knowing like not just you're hidden, but everything is for an appointed time. And knowing, we talked about this a little bit, I think, with Justin last time, is like knowing, okay, this is my single season. Like, what are you doing in your single season?
Yeah.
And that's just, because a relationship is just one component of your life, but there's so many other components, so your single life could be popping, You know, like enjoying your friends, enjoying your family, working on the things that you love to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, like it's my single seasons that have allowed me to like, you know, write and do other things. So I think really understanding that and knowing like, you know what, that's coming and enjoying it. So we're about 35 minutes in. Dang, exactly when I said that, 35 minutes in. And so we're talking about dating in 2021 this evening. So before we, you know, leave our friends tonight, I want to switch gears and talk about dating in 2021. And special announcement, you guys stay tuned because we will be talking about dating in 2021 again on WGN in Chicago for a Valentine's Day segment. So stay tuned for that. But we want to give you guys just a little sneak peek of some of the things that we may be talking about. So what is maybe, I guess, three pieces of advice, making it, you know, under 60 seconds that you would give for everybody for dating in 2021?
Erica, that is so hard because you know I love to talk.
I know, that's why I said 60 seconds.
Okay, definitely being transparent. Say whatever it is. Speak your crazy early on. Okay, it doesn't have to be on the first day, but speak your crazy early on enough to give the person some type of knowledgeable base about who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the things that are like triggers for you? Like, you know, just be honest. Pay attention to those red flags. I think that's, you know, speaks for itself. And stay true to your standards and do not compromise. And
No.
this is what I'm saying. Not that compromising in a relationship is not a good thing. It is a great tool. You're gonna have to do it if you want to be successful. It ain't gonna be your show all the time. You're gonna have to take some insight from your person and, you know, make that gel together with you, and y'all gotta work that thing out. But do not compromise on what your standards are going into your new endeavor with this person, because that is, again, a sign of you being your representative and not your real self. If for whatever reason, I'm just going to throw this out here, and this is no judgment on me, but I did not want to date a man that had a child. I did not. And I had my own personal reason as to why I didn't want a man with a child prior to us getting together. And I stayed true to that. When I didn't stay true to that, I found myself in a heap of mess. And, you know, I was, you know, tagged as being a, you know, not so nice Naisha. And it wasn't even that. Like, I love kids, but it's like, you know, I was like, I want to come first in your life after God.
Yeah.
That I want to be next after God. I want it to be God, then me, not God, then your kid, then me. I don't want that scenario. Wasn't going to work for me. And that's okay, because this is just my journey. But I'm saying, like, whatever compromise is
different. I'm like, I love kids, so hey.
You do love kids, and you are more open to that idea as far as in a partnership.
Yeah.
However, I'm an only child. That's just my MO.
So I have other people's kids at my house anyway, so.
You do. You're the best.
Yeah. I think for me, for dating in 21, since I'm dating, you know, you're giving that advice, you know, as a married woman, but as a single woman, I would say the first thing is be open to, and you went way over, you went actually 4 minutes, girl. I'm looking at the time, but it's okay.
Did I?
With you. I'm looking at the time. I'm just
sorry.
It's okay. But see, I tell you 60 seconds, you get 4 minutes. You might have gave 10. So anyway, I think the first thing would be for me, like, just be open to love's possibility.
That's
be open to the love that wants to come your way and walk in that love. Like, be love. You know what I mean? Like, that would be, it sounds so corny, but just be open to the possibility, because a lot of times people aren't.
Yeah.
I think standards are important, but make sure that they're not superficial because you could be, missing out on something. And I think also like have fun. Have fun with it. I know for this year, like I share on the book of Sean, like this year it's all about like love and living life, like love and life. And so I want to have fun. I want to be bold, even bolder, like in my walk.
Yeah.
In my dating life, in my walk. And there's even some personal things that I won't share on this broadcast. Maybe I'll share, after another day. But there's just some personal goals that I have and some things that I'm like, I want to do. Because I feel like also in dating, like I'm always like a super shy person. So I'm like overcoming that shyness and stuff.
I was gonna say, you're good with that.
Yeah, like my dad literally just texted me after our interview. Was like, you were once a shy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like as Kanye said, what did he say? Embrace your flyness or conquer your shyness, embrace your flyness. So that's what I'm doing. Embracing my flyness and I'm conquering my shyness. And
I love your t-shirt.
Yeah, so I wore this for you actually, and shout out to Melissa and Rachel who I got this shirt from. And I wore because we had like a friendship type interview today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, which girlfriend are you?
Probably Tony.
I can see that.
I was like, can I do a combo though? Because I'm definitely a combo
combo.
Yeah, Tony and Joan.
Okay, Tony and Joan. I would say that mine would be a Joan and a Maya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm, all about like the holiday parties.
Of course.
Get people to play games, wanting to host things at my place.
Yeah.
And I think Joan is like she's fashionable, she's kind of figured things out. But there's some parts of Joan that I'm like, Joan.
Yeah.
But I think Maya, as far as like the entrepreneur who was like at work writing a book, like I literally, when I was working at St. Xavier, the students would come in and be like, oh, hell yes. Because I would be like, go for yours. And so that was like, and I was literally that person at work, like, oh my gosh. I mean, this was like over 10 years ago, so it should be okay. But literally that person like printing out, manuscripts and stuff at work. Looking like the little, the legal, and that's me too. Like, don't let me have an office job because I'm an entrepreneur too. So I'm literally going to take the legal pads and Erica said, that's true. I remember that freshman at XXU. Erica, who just helped Kika, is one of my old students from St. Xavier. Hey, Erica. And yeah, she was a freshman when I was working at St. Xavier. Now this girl has just finished graduate school. How crazy is that? But I definitely is that person. I have a job. I'm using office supplies for my side hustle.
No, real. That is real.
So yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, look who wanted to join us. Look. Oh, hello there, Tiffany, Sherelle.
Hi, Tiff. So nice of you to join us. Wow. Now, this is really the way to close out the party, okay?
This is definitely the way. This is our little sister, Tiffany Sherelle.
Also our manager. She's also our manager. Shout out to her.
She said, say something smart. As you can see, she is the little sister.
Yeah. She's, she's the bestest manager that we could ever dream of. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To book us on some things. Okay. Or I might have to be like, I'm like Maya, okay, how she did Ronnie when she had that book there.
Girl. Oh my gosh. Oh, good old girlfriends.
Situations, okay.
Listen.
Well, anything you want to add before we leave our friends this evening?
Nothing other than to really do what you all need to do right now to maintain your peace and your joy.
Yeah.
Because, like, all giggles aside, the world is wild right now, right? And we're not even gonna get on that envelope tonight, but I just want to let people know, like, whatever it is that you feel the need to do to make sure that you're in a good space, like, do that. Whoever you need to talk to or not talk to, do that, you know? So no, there's the world is not coming to an end, y'all. It's just a little tricky right now and looking a little crazy.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's looking real.
It's looking sketchy. But see, this is another reason why I feel like it's just essential to have good people in your life and good friends and just, you know, people that are not going to drain you. And you be like, oh, you see them calling, you're like, oh, do I pick up the phone? I don't really want to do it. Then don't pick up the phone. Protect your peace.
Definitely protect your peace during this time, I would say. And be careful. For me, I go down the rabbit hole of a lot of things, and I had to stop because we have to be careful, like what we put in our minds, and like we really can't make sense of what's going on right now. Yeah. And just realizing it's not for us to make sense. And just continuing to pray and just, you know, it can be a lot. You know, Naisha and I have had those moments of anxiety where we're like, what is going on outside?
And so last night.
Yeah. And so now it's like, do I just need to be at home, just kind of like Miss Seeley on the porch, just watching? Like, this is too much. It's a lot. So definitely want to, you know, stay encouraged, you know, love on your people, you know, work out some of those things that, you know, you feel like you're being called to do, whether it's start a business, learn something new, go back to school, or even, you know, catching up with old friends. Like my mom literally just got back in touch with like her best friend from kindergarten that she hadn't talked to.
How cute is that? How cute is that?
So
definitely
cute. So.
Erica, I think that's such a good thing that you mentioned on like starting like a business or like you have a new idea that you're thinking about pursuing. Thank you for being on the phone with me today when I discovered my next endeavor that I'm so excited about. Yeah. But no, I mean, there are so many different things that we can be doing right now that is not focusing on the negativity that's around us, because the world being on fire right now is not going to stop with you worrying about it being on fire. So you might as well just like get in where you can make a good space for yourself to be in, you know, that's healthy, that doesn't involve you really being like stressed to the max. Because, you know, my grandmother told me stress causes cancer. And it's real. Like when you stress out about different things, your body it can only handle so much. You pack on this weight, this anxiety, these nervousness, and all of this stuff. It's putting your body, it's pre-exposing your body to unhealthiness, you know, and what comes with that. So listen, grab you a liter of some pomegranate juice, drink up.
Or your favorite beverage. Wait, but what does the pomegranate juice, doesn't that help like fight?
Okay, wow. Now we're going to go into another lane. So let's talk about the benefits of pom juice. So pomegranate juice is actually an antioxidant, meaning that it is basically like your germ fighter. So you're drinking this juice, you're drinking your water. All it's doing is boosting up your immune system and all of your cells, like your white blood cells. Listen, they are happy when that pomegranate juice hits them, because it's like they're being bathed in just the wealth of health, you know? And so
juice.
And pomegranate juice is really good for the biggest organ on your body, which is your skin. This is really a time, you all, where you can really dive deep into like your health care, making sure that you are being well nourished, so that you're eating like really jam-packed foods with omegas in it, because omega fast is not doing anything for you but boosting up your collagen levels. It's Erica, don't you laugh, okay? Because you know I am so, this
It's
it hypes me up, because listen, you all, who wants to age and hurt as they age? Like, who wants to age and you feel like your bones are like curling up on you? You know, like, no, we got to do what we need to do to take care of ourselves. So drink lots of water, you all, because your mind is, your wheels are like going like this right now. You need to stay hydrated. Give your brain what it needs. It needs water. Or you can do nice little lemonades. This is a nice little lemonade. Simply lemonade, not a lot of sugar. It's giving me just what I need. Okay, not a lot of different like additives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is the time. Erica will tell you she's about to go plant-based diet. Like, we're not messing around out here.
Yeah, well, I've been plant-based. Well, I won't say I'm about to go plant-based, but you know, the last week has been plant-based. You know, I go through my time periods, but I'm just like, I don't see myself never ever eating a chicken wing again. But
that's,
you know, I don't mind like a regular, at least 80% of my diet being plant-based, and it doesn't have to be boring. Like, I literally made this vegan Alfredo dish the other day, and I was a little hesitant. Now, I will say with plant-based, with like pasta dishes, I'm still hesitant on like the, you know, the cheese substitute. So I was like, okay, you have to have the right seasoning, okay? And it can't be salt, because I learned that the hard way. You gotta have like lots of garlic and all that stuff. But yeah, like plant-based does not have to be boring. It really does not have to be boring. Like, if you like to eat, and it's also like, it's really just plant-based, like whole foods. So like whole grains, like that, lots of water. I had fun, you know, everybody got they quarantine 15 except for Naisha. So it's like, let me make sure I get back on track, because I definitely had a good Christmas and I'm definitely going to enjoy my food. But yeah, the plant-based is good. And I see we lost some viewers out from 10 to 4 because we talked about plants. So the people are like, no.
Well, you know, like I said, anything, you know, that's, you know, and within moderation, you know, because if somebody was going to be so kind as to fly me in some Sharks chicken wings from back home with some lemon dust on it and some mild sauce, I would tear them down. Okay.
You know, I would tear up, not even Harold's. This is actually something that's here in LA. That lemon pepper chicken from the Cork.
The Cork. Please don't mention the Cork right now. I don't even want to go there.
Because that chicken was so good. It kind of was like how like Reese's chicken was really good, you know.
Ooh, Reese's.
And now I want some chicken.
I wonder if Reese's is still open.
Last time I tried to go last year, it was closed, but I think it was like under construction. So, you know, throw in. But also for chicken wings too, guys, like, you know, air fryers are good. I talked to Chanel. She was like, I don't want no fish in no air fryer. I want it fried. I'm like, but it's good.
And it gives you the same effect. Chanel is crazy.
It does. I'm trying to tell her, but she was not going for the air fryer chicken. I'm like, it's so that's a whole other story. We can get into all of those things later, another day, because we really talk about dating in 2021. But yeah, make sure you're healthy.
Make sure that you're healthy so that you can enjoy dating, so that you're not
dragging out.
Yeah.
All of those things.
All of them.
So anyway, happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday, you all. And thanks so much. Again, I just want to tell any and everybody that's listening who has purchased our book or supported us in any kind of way, be it, reposting us or, sharing our, book with a friend. Listen, we truly, truly do appreciate you all so much. I know, people like, oh, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I don't like that saying. From the top of my heart, okay? Because I don't want to give you.
I like the bottom because the bottom is like everything from the bottom.
Okay, well, I like from the top. I like it from the top of my heart. I would like to say thank you. My co-author, Erica, likes from the bottom of her soul. Okay, she says thank you. But we really appreciate it because people don't have to buy our books. They don't. Yeah. Y'all don't have to buy our books. Y'all don't have to share, that we even wrote a book. So we just appreciate it because it's our first project of many to come. We are not stopping at All Good just a week ago. It is. It's an entire brand at this point.
Yeah.
And so, keeping that in mind, we really want to make sure that the message that we're promoting to you all is one of honesty and definitely one of encouragement. Okay. I feel like it's not really a lot of, I don't feel like it's a lot of books that are tackling these, these topics where, there might have been some shame around it at some point or, just not, full transparency on matters. And these are just things, it's just life, y'all. And nobody's life is perfect. So that means that that means that we've all encountered some form of crazy. We graduated from that place of craziness and we now have a well, okay. But it's like you want to hear from other people who have gone through a scenario to see what they did, and how you can, look to avoid going in that same direction because that they're going to yield these bad results that you don't want no parts of. So, me and Erica, we are really happy to, share our stories, to share our testimonies, to let you all know that it doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be a doom situation, of you dating and as you wait to meet your person, because it's happening. It's coming. Like whatever is for you will not miss you. That I can assure you of.
Blank period. And so before we leave, I want to make sure you guys check out our website. We actually just updated our website. There's some really fun on there, including a quiz called What's Your Dating Style? And there's also like a free PDF where you could journal like, your love, like what you're looking for. So you can go and you can download that free PDF. Mm-hmm. And just start journaling the things that you're looking for and all those types of things. So just make sure you visit our site. And just like Naisha said, like we thank you so much for being on this journey. Like you could have chose to be anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us. So it doesn't even matter. Like if it was just one person in this room, like you still matter. And so also we'll be having some really fun stuff coming up. We'll be having more guests. Yeah. We'll also want you guys to be involved. We are streaming on our pages as well, but the way this works, because we're using StreamYard, we can only see who's commenting from our Facebook All Good Just a Week Ago page. So please, if you haven't already, go and like you. If you're my friend, you've probably been invited to like the page anyway. Yeah. Invited everybody. Here. So make sure you follow the page and you go on the page to watch us live. Because we want to have these conversations with you guys. So that's it for tonight. You all have a very blessed evening and thank you for joining.
Thanks, y'all. Be blessed. Bye.